Good evening. Uh-oh, I'm not plugged in. Can't hear myself. Whoa, I am loud. Woo-hoo-hoo. I need to volumize that. There we go. If you want to join me on this particular live stream, I'm not doing Google Meet at the moment. So if you want to join me, let me record this one. Also record video, and I'm going to call it how to find the prayers. I have no idea what that was, but it might pick it up. It's a rather interesting hissing sound. All right, so this particular thing, this is the background guts of the channel. And like there's some crawling. Maybe just be hair. Hopefully it's just hair. So this is the background guts of the channel. And I wanted to show you this specifically because a lot of people have told me, I don't know where you're hiding stuff, Norm. Sorry. So I'm going to show you live right now what it is that I'm doing and why it seems like the prayers are disappearing. There's very, very specific reason for that. When I first started the recording of module 2.0, all right, so you got to understand. Let me do it like this. Open up this specific section. It's over here, and here. There we go. Something. Oh, give me a moment. I hear somebody trying to come in. I think. I heard, but it's being weird. Oh, there it is. No. Hi, Annette. Did you want to be in on the live stream? I gotta change my. There. Did you, did you want to be in on the live stream, as in stick your face out, or you're just gonna sit there? All right. I'll take that as she's just going to sit there. Oops, not what I meant to do. She's still there. This window right here. Oh, hi, Dale. Nice to have you. Something I was going to say. Okay, so oh, hi, Sarah. Y'all got to let me know in the Telegram whether you want to be part. Oh, there's my chat screen. Trying. Got it. Let me kill that thing. Sarah, let me know. Did you want to be in the because I can see your camera on, but did you want to be? Oh, there it is. Hi, Annette.
Figured it out.
Sarah, did you wanna be part of the, uh, people on screen or no? You gotta let me know in the private chat or message on the Telegram. So, um, back over here. This is where I was trying to put all of the modules together as one module, and guess what? Even my computer couldn't handle it. So I was like, okay, that's not going to work. And so um, I then tried to put the file together again as one, and that's still a almost 3 gigabyte file. And I'm not expecting too many people that want to download a 3 gigabyte file. So this right here is where I'm taking module one from. That's where I've put all the pieces, parts together, and that's what I'm reading from whenever I do the recordings. So there's module one, module two, and module three. Now, because of how large module three is, when I put it up on YouTube, it's like, hey, this is too long. We can't handle 13 hours of material. So there's module 3 part one and module three part two. Now, those these two are within the member section of YouTube, and I'm going to show you that right now when I do a little switcheroo and show you what else I got going on here. So when I make why? I went to switch back to showing my YouTube, and suddenly Annette is front and center.
I was like, what happened?
All right. So this is the back end. Whenever I get a one of the videos 2 days past when I've aired it, it moves to the members only in the Let's Sup Together and higher. Why? Because I've put a lot of time and energy into making this, and you're not going to get you're going to be sacrificing time and money to get to it. Not because I'm greedy, but because your money speaks and your time speaks. And so I am so incredibly thrilled that I had a dream to confirm this. And I had the dream 4 times in a row yesterday morning. So I'm like, okay, God, you want me to share this. I get it. I get it. So I went so far as to say that there's some things happening for my wife. It's something so super huge, but couldn't say much more than that. But since I shared it with my church, my worship team this evening, I'm like, okay, God, I will also share it here. Um, so once a recording, this is day number 3. As soon as it reached October 5, this moved from public to members only in the Let's Sub Together and Higher. That is only $5
Oh,
a
okay.
month. I don't see too many people complaining about having to go to the member section at $5 a month so that you can see a specific type of video, right? And until I get module 1 recorded, this is where they're going to sit for temporarily. They're going to sit once they're in the Let's Sup Together and higher tiers. They're they're going these videos are going to sit on YouTube until I get module 1 put together as uh one video. I'm sorry, it's going to be put together as however many videos it takes me to get through module 1 at 20 topics per day. So once I get it put together and I have all the audio bugs uh, taken out of there, Then what happens is I take it over to Vimeo. Now, this is a project I've been working on behind the scenes. Um, and I'll show you once I log in what that looks like. Um, there it is. Come on, you can do it. Go away, log in, give me that. It's supposed to move forward. Why won't you do this? Okay, I'm gonna have to do it a long way. Bear with me just one moment. Vimeo is different. Vimeo doesn't have all the other videos of YouTube. It's not a distraction. Once you get to that video, you can literally lock in to that and you just go. You can also get Vimeo on your various devices, and it will take the video that I upload and become locked in, and then you just have that one screen, and then you can turn the volume of me speaking down to see the words on screen. Just do that. Okay. Um, so then what I'm expecting that you'd be able to do, because I've done this for about 4 years now, um, you have you open up a tab on your device, whether that's your tablet, your laptop, your iPhone, your Android, whatever. You open up a tab on your browser and you go to Vocaroo and you hit record. Then while it is recording, you come back to Vimeo and push play on the project. You go through the Module 1 project. Now, what's different about the Module 1 project for the 2.0, instead of doing one topic 5 days, you're doing 5 you're doing 4 days, 20 topics. Why is that different? Well, the regular way the module is written, the way the book is written, you go through all of these prayers in a little over 3 months. That's still a lot of topics because you're going through the 172 3 times. You're going through the first time for yourself. The second time you're doing it for your parents and back to the 5th generation. Then the third time you're doing it from the 6th generation back to the 20th generation. But there's a twist, just slight twist. The third round, it's alphabetical. Why is that? Because I was seeing that a fair number of people would be getting into, and they get caught in a loop. So they just start staying it almost like a robot, and it loses its authenticity. And
Mhm.
so
Are you
uh,
gonna? I'm
the
sorry to interrupt.
specifics. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Are you gonna include like written
Go ahead.
instructions for all that? Because I totally forgot everything you just said.
Yes, yes, I will.
Okay, cool.
Um, and the specifics about the way that this is set up is that instead of there being a focus of seeing what's in a book and reading what's on the page, when you do it through the module, I say it different than how it is on the book because quite literally, if I'd write it how I say it, the book would be 20 times bigger and it would seem very over the top. And so that's why I took 5 topics, prayer, 5 topics, prayer, 5 topics, prayer. 5 topics a day with a prayer. The prayer more or less stays the same. The topics change. And so if I was to write out those 5 topics and then have the prayer 5 times in each chapter, it would be a little over the top because the only thing that's changing is the specific topic and the agreements it's with. And so that's when I realized, okay, in order for the individual to connect the dots, that for instance, shedding of innocent blood is the it's all those agreements and the satanic ritual agreement with shedding of innocent blood. But shedding of innocent blood is the principality. It's not the thing we're being accused of. We're being accused of hanging. We're being accused of using the spear. We're being accused of using the sword. We're being accused of using the arrow to shed innocent blood. The shedding of innocent blood is the outcome, but the action is the hanging, the use of the gun, use of the rifle, use of the spears, sword. It's the use of an act, use of like for instance, this is just a coffee stirrer. But if I'm using it to poke into somebody's eyeball to kill him, then it's use of the coffee stirrer to kill someone innocent. The object itself is innocent. It's how it's used. And so when we are going through this and repenting of the way in which we have used objects to kill innocent people, and then the other thing of we have walked in unfaithfulness towards family and neighbors to trick them. The unfaithfulness is one thing that's, it's against God's design. But the actual issue is not the unfaithfulness to the family and neighbors. It's the trickery. It's the treachery. That's wider. The trickery and treachery has a much wider realm than just the unfaithfulness to your family or an unfaithfulness to the neighbor. If you're out in the boonies and your closest neighbor is a couple miles away, it's kind of hard to connect the dots that you're being unfaithful to your neighbor if the next neighbor is you have to use binoculars to go look for
Hey,
them.
that's one less thing you got to repent for.
See, this is why I keep Annette around. She gets the funny part of um but in the whole thing of all right, I think I'll be able to do my login thing now. Uh no, you're supposed to paste. All right, copy that and paste that. Come over here, copy that, paste that, and now log in. There it's going. All right, now I can show you instead of y'all being stuck on YouTube. Here is the modules. Once you get to this page, which will happen once I have module 1 completely recorded. Then you come over here to, let's say, module 1, right? You tap on it when you're on your phone or your device, and then you would just be hitting play. Now, this is a 9-hour, 9-hour, 40-minute video. I'm not going to have you sitting for 9 hours. At best, the videos might be 2 hours. And so you would be setting aside a place in your day where you have up to about 3 hours because when it gets up to module 3, it's going to be a little bit more than, because the average prayer on module 1 is about 2 minutes 45 seconds. That's the average length of the prayer on the module 1. Module 2, the average length is 3 minutes 15 seconds. Module 3, average is 3 minutes 40 seconds. Now that adds up because 172 variations of module 1 comes to 9 hours. 172 variations of 3 minutes 15 seconds comes to 10 hours 46 minutes. That's wild because I felt sure adding 15 seconds to each one, it'd make it a little bit higher, but no, it's just 1 hour longer than module 1. It's when we get into module 3, we're not just saying on behalf of the second generation, third generation, fourth generation. Now we're saying on behalf of the sixth generation, on behalf of the seventh generation, the eighth generation, ninth generation. You're going to all these generations, and then you are specifically focusing. You're specifically focusing on mentioning each of the generations. At that point, you're not looking for names, you're just mentioning the number of the generation. Then you get to the topic, and then you realize, oh, wait, module 3 doesn't start with hanging the innocent. Check this out. Module 3 starts with those topics. Here's where it gets wild. Alphabetically, 5 topics in a set. Alphabetically, all of them look like they could happen in one day. In the various way of how you relate to someone. This abandoning of the family by the father or mother, abandonment, it's also the abdicating of responsibility of leadership. The ones who are innocent are suddenly ambushed by a reality that they didn't mean to, didn't know they had to uh, have to face at that young of an age, and the parents are being a false witness. Ain't that wild? That happens almost every day. And here's the even crazier part. Number 1 is in the field of rebellion. Number 2 is in the field of treachery. Number 3 is the field of rebellion. Number 4 is shedding of innocent blood, and number 5 is idolatry. So in each of the titles that you're going to hit in round 3, you're going to be hitting multiple principalities. And then at that point, you're going to begin to see the reality of how every one of our days, multiple principalities are trying to get us to do what they are telling us to do, so that when we do what they're telling us to do, in us doing what they're telling us to do, we are worshiping them. That's why God says, have no other gods before me. Have no other sources. Have nothing else that's influencing you other than God Almighty. But when you see these in the alphabetical, all of a sudden you can begin to see that, oh my goodness, when I did that, I was also doing this. I was also doing that. How many different principalities am I actually serving? That's where it goes into the importance of looking at which particular area principality was I making all these agreements with. Now, the prayers in the book are not that specific. Like I said, if I would have made the prayer in the book that specific, the book would be 5 times longer than it already is. And it's sitting at 419 pages. Can you imagine me putting out a book that has 1,000 pages?
Use it as a
Can you
weapon.
imagine people wanting can you imagine people wanting to read through
No.
something that's 1,000 pages? Right. So this then becomes a witnessing tool. So once you have the um, once I've gotten module 1 completely recorded, what you're going to do is you're going to have this open on one screen and this open on the other screen. So you're going to come over here, tap on this. It's going to ask you, is it okay if I have permission to record? And you say yes, and you have a various option, 24 hours, 1 week, or forever, or until I close the site. I always leave it on until I close the site. I hit the allow. As it's blinking, it's recording. You go back to that part that has the prayer. And once it, gets back center of screen, you hit the play. You go for that particular video, then you come back over here. That's been recording. You hit stop. The save and share. This is what you send to me
Ah, okay. So
to
that
prove
to prove that we're doing it.
that you're doing it, and you do that for the length of time it takes me to go through module 1. You get the book for free.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Now, here's why this is why I got so excited about this. Once you have completed the book, and you are one plus another one, and for the first month, it's just the two of you. Then you go find another person. Hey, there's something that I found. Module 2.0 is all of the prayers in 30 days. That includes a day of rest. So you come back, and so you have found a person, and you went through them for a month on module 2.0, and you've gone through 172 topics. Now you both go out and find your two people. Now, month 3, there's 4 people that are doing these prayers. Month 4, there's 8 people. Oh, month 5, month 6, month 7, month 8, month 9, month 10, month 11. Within a year, you would have reached 2,000 people. And that's just doing one person a month. And then each of them replicating and doing the same thing. Not everybody's going to want to sacrifice that time and energy to send you a audio of them doing a prayer. You don't want to do that? Fine, go buy a book. $30, do it 5 topics a day. At that point, you have not just learned discipleship. You have not just learned spiritual application. You have learned spiritual authority. Now you become the enemy of the devil. You become a threat to the devil. You become not quite untouchable, but you well on the way of each time he comes to smack you. I gotta go find a object. I'll be right back. Each time he comes by to smack you with this little tiny thing, you come by to smack him with this big amount. And what is this big amount? It's all the records of repentance. As you are doing the prayers, as you're walking it out, and as you have a cloud of witnesses of all the people that have been doing the same thing that you've been doing, as you do that, you got clout. So if the devil goes after you, he also has to attack every single other one of them people that's with you. It's much more difficult because the enemy's goal is to kill, steal, destroy, separate, divide. And so if he has to do that against a group of people, it's harder. And so as as I see you going through the modules, module 2.0 is going to take me a month to put together. Cool, not a problem. As I see the multiplication, so this number is based off of one person starting by themselves. If it is 10 people starting out, month 2, month 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 40,000 people. If 10 people started out. How many people do I have in the Repentance 101 group? 85. If 85 was to start it out, I did the numbers a couple days ago. If 1,000 people started this and did it for 1 year, we'd reach 1 million in a year. I don't have 1,000 people. I have 10. So I'm going to start out with a 10. There's a possibility of reaching 40,000 people in a year. Now, when 40,000 people are no longer being affected by the various different principalities that are named in this book, that shakes the heavens. That's the type of thing that God is looking for a people. He says, heaven is my throne, earth is my footstool. Where is the people that will do my work, create my temple on the earth so that I have a place to live? Where are those people? This book is about creating that people. You already have the design in you. This is about getting all the decrees of divorce from all those other gods. Once they don't have a say on your life as to tell you how to do life, you get to affect 40,000 people with a simple book. Now, when God gave me this vision to do this all the way back in June, he told me, Norm, you got to do this because evil is coming. Dale, there's no Google Meet. There's no Google Meets. In the Telegram, Dale, there is an actual link for how to get onto the Restream if you want to do it that route.
When I see Dale, as I
A
hear, I
net
pronounce it Dale. Dale.
she's not the Dalai Lama. Well, so the neatest thing about this is that when God told me to do this, I was not trying to be some big person. I was not trying to emphasize that there should be any one person greater than any other person. I was not trying to do anything that would set me as being this really important person. All that I was doing is God told me on the 28th of June, Norm, I need you to teach my people how to do this because there's evil coming in September. That's all I knew. Didn't know what evil would be coming in September. All I knew was there's evil coming in September. I thought at first when he said that, that this meant there was that comet or that asteroid, whichever it was, that's coming at the tail end of September. I've even had a dream that the swath that you see that where the yes, Atlas 3, where um the shadow of the last major solar eclipse went through. I've had multiple dreams that that is the indicator of where, when as the asteroid goes by, all the cities in those in that shadow area are going to be hit with meteorites. And when the dust would clear, the majority of the organization that's being taken out because of that shower of meteorites is Planned Parenthood. Now, that's sort of like wishful thinking on my part, but on the other hand, if God is going to bring a level of judgment against America, he would be bringing it against the organization trying to murder the prophets, because that's what he's done in times past. Every time he's judging a people, he's judging the ones who are murdering the prophets. He's not going after the people who are absolutely laying their life down for God. He's going after the ones who are murdering his prophets. Now, I have absolutely no proof that what I've just said about the meteorite strike coming in, I have absolutely no proof, but I've had the dream a couple times. But yesterday morning, so I did all of that conversation to tell you about the dream that I had yesterday. So a couple days ago, sorry, a couple weeks ago, my wife told me, and I said, "What?" She says, for the building fund, I gave $1,000, and now we are in debt. Uh, you should have talked to me about this. And so, what's really intriguing is yesterday morning I woke up from a dream, and in the dream, she was on a baseball diamond, and there was the demonic angels on the left side and the angelic angels of God on the right side, and behind home plate was a bunch of God's angels, and out in the outfield bleachers was the demonic angels. And they were trying to throw the baseball and throw a strike so that she would be disqualified from playing that particular game. But I don't know about you, but in in take this, take that so y'all can hear me better. In basketball, when the guy is going to shoot that free throw, there'll be people standing there doing all this waving to try to distract, right? Well, as the pitcher was getting ready to throw this fireball of a baseball for Tanisha to be, she's aiming up to hit this baseball. The angels behind home plate, just as this dude is getting ready to throw the baseball, they go like, huh! And so they're all, he's getting ready, and he just as he's getting ready to throw, they go, "Hurrah!" And then he's so now he's scared a little, and so the ball does not go anywhere near home plate. And so part of baseball rules is when it doesn't go where he's trying, it's when it's called either a balk, or you actually it's a wild ball, and so everybody that's on base gets to move. Well, the Angels had done this so many times that the score was 18-0. She had yet to swing the bat because they kept like throwing the, and the enemy was getting so mad, like just let her hit, try to hit, and the Angels are just like just waiting for him to throw it, and he gets ready to throw, and just as he's getting ready, and then on the right side, all of the Angels on the right side were holding these great big signs, and they were chanting, $1,000 building fund, $1,000 building fund, $1,000 building fund. And they just kept saying over and over and over. And I was like, this is so wild. And so I woke up from that dream, looked at my clock. It's like 1 a.m. I'm like, that's interesting dream, Father. I don't know if it's from you, so I'm gonna go ahead and cancel it. Go to sleep. $1,000 building fund, $1,000. It's right back to it. And I was like, oh, okay, this is a dream from God, because everything that's come from God, He gives it multiple times. And so I wake up, it's 3. I was like, okay, this is pretty nifty. I go to sleep. $1,000 building fund, $1,000. It just goes right back to it, and over and over. It's 18-0. And so finally, it's 4 a.m. in the morning. I wake up. I've had the dream 4 or 5 times in a row. And I'm asking God, like, what? What are you trying to tell me?
Yeah.
And He said, you have to tell my people that when you sacrifice either time or money or both, the Angels get so excited because that record speaks higher and louder than anything else. And the Angels get so excited because now they have a record that they can chant at the enemy, and the enemy goes bonkers because they can't concentrate. Now, I'm not saying that, I want to make this one thing really, really clear. I am not telling you to give me $1,000. I am not a
I was like, I
prosperity
wish I had
preacher.
it. I
Not
would.
saying that. Not saying that. What I am saying is, when you put in time and energy, especially in the confession of sins, you give the Angels so much ammunition to use against the kingdom of darkness that the kingdom of darkness won't know which way to look. That's how effective this is. Again, I do not want thousands and thousands of dollars just because you're trying to get the same type of reaction that I got in this dream. When my wife gave that money, she knew well and good that God told her to do it. I had some doubt. I even went to the son of one of the secretaries. I said, "Hey, can we get that money back? We need it for bills." He says, "I don't think that's how offerings work."
I know. Oh.
I didn't say bring it back. I was asking, could we?
Hey, Tanisha. Hey.
Annette says hi. So what was that? What was that? What was that?
Huh?
What were you saying? Singing?
Nothing else.
No, what were you singing?
I don't need a blessing.
Yeah, but you were singing it. I wanted to hear it again.
Oh. Now you messed it up.
You don't have to sit up.
I said, now you messed it up.
Oh. I wanted to hear you sing it.
No.
She knows my little tricks. Anyways, um, so when when in the middle of the time that the enemy is attacking you, you meet it with praise. It completely disarms the attack. And so when my wife has been focusing on what God is taking her through right now, which is a huge story. Can't talk about it, sorry, but it's huge, and it's about to hit. It's about to hit hard. Um, but used to be um, whenever she or I would have a breakthrough, I'd be talking about the person, and the enemy began to use that as a club against us both because I was praising the person. And we'd be hit but with some incredible level backlash because I'd be talking about somebody's breakthrough and praising the person. That's idolatry, and the devil would get us every single time. So I began to have to realize that if a breakthrough came to either one of us, I would just have to say God is doing some very amazing things and give God the praise for it. The enemy would try to come in but wouldn't know where to look because we're giving God the praise. So as a result, going back to the sing of the prayers, what's being recorded on YouTube will not stay on YouTube. YouTube is being used as the method to do the recording. Once module 1 in all of its days, there's like I started on the 1st of October. It's going to finish on Friday. It's going to take about 10 days to go through the module. So by Saturday, you should have access to all the videos on Vimeo. So you would go to Vimeo, either on your phone or whatever your device is. You have the video open. You go to your browser. You get Vocaroo. Hit record. Come back to the video. Kind of turn my voice down because I only have such a great voice. No, sorry. I'm listening for your voice. I'm not trying to hear my own voice come back. And I will know it if it's an AI generated voice because I've been listening to them for about 2 years. I know it when it's I know when a real person, and I know when it's a AI generated.
Yeah, I'm not that type of person gonna go through all that.
When I hear you doing the prayers, and you've gone through module 1, which is going to take you approximately 10 days.
Sweet.
When I hear you having done all of the prayers, now I'm going to put it in my little device, and I have a way to speed the sound up and speed the playback up. I'm not going to be sitting for listening to 10 different people, spending 10 hours of my day. I have a way to speed it up. But when I hear you having gone through all 172, that's when I start sending the book in its actual form right now with all the errors taken out. So similar to the PDF you got when I first sent it out, this is with all the errors out, all the prayers set right. The prayers do not have get to the agreement with shedding of innocent blood or treachery against family neighbors. That part's not in there. You'll have to remember, okay, I'm looking at the module the way the module is written, not the way the book is written. But the book is like a starter, gets you there. And also the titles, like for instance, module 1, the very first one, it was shedding of innocent blood through the use of torture of hanging. is how it was written out originally. Now, and I'm glad I left this window open. Now it looks like this on the book.
Okay.
Day 1 looks like this. Day 2, like that. Day 3, like that. And there is a used to be in the first one, there was no space in between the I am guilty of that and this would be sitting right next to, and it was so confusing. And so I put a space in there. But as you can see, in the is this I recognize that the blank is happening because of all the agreements, but it does not have a section of with shedding of innocent blood or with treachery against family. You will have to be listening to the module and looking at the module because it words it differently than how the book does. Now, when we get to, say, day 7, it's a day of rest. Don't, and I repeat, don't do any prayers. Your body needs time to rejuvenate, and you need a time when you are absolutely resting. Now, this doesn't mean you can't go out and watch a football game, or you can't go out and do some massive workout in the garden. No. What you're not doing, though, is going after the principalities, because there's this thing that God established. When he rested on the 7th day, he was establishing a law within the spirit realm. So when you begin to do what God didn't do, you open yourself up for demonic attack. But when you do as God did, you're walking within the same principles that he put forth. The demonic cannot touch you if you are only doing life the way that God did. So then, day number 40 is only going to have 2 because we've run out of topics. Same with day number 81. We've run out of topics. But when we get to day number 82, all of that is on one page. And then the topics. And like I said, alphabetical. Did I make a mistake here? No, day 84 is a day of rest. So you have your day 83, day 84. If you're wondering about the specific numbers as to when the day of rest is, it's in multiples of 7.
Okay.
So even though the last day is day 122, if you're doing it the 3-month version, check this out. That's the world. Alphabetical. This place of abandoning the family, abandonment, abdicating responsibility of leadership, ambush of the innocent, being a false witness, it leads to worldliness. It leads to worshiping idols and expecting them to save us. And then instead of the in the original document, these 7 types of agreements were all in one section. I put the various agreements as separate pages. This I'm giving props to Edna, because this is the advice she gave. Worthy of noting, in Africa where lions roam freely, the advice is given: do not go into the night. Do not go into the nighttime hours in the wild with an open wound. The lions can smell the blood and will attack. Similarly, going into prayer with an open soul wound will draw the demonic, and like a pack of jackals or hyenas, they will seek to shred you from the inside out. So this whole book, trying to get to, just trying to get to the cover, but it won't show me the cover here. This whole book, it still has quite a number of pages just for the table of contents. But when you go through this whole book, especially if you're doing the module 2.0 and you're doing it in 1 month, you're shredding this book. You're literally going through this book very, very fast. What ends up happening is you become a threat to the enemy. That's the first thing. Second thing that happens is when you say something, speak something, and you no longer have these various gods having an influence on you. Some of them, there will be a almost instantaneous decree of divorce from them. Most of them, they will want to test you a little bit to make sure that you are actually serious about what you're talking about. You will know that you have the decree of divorce when you are no longer tempted to do a thing. Okay? So here's where it gets wild. When you're not tempted to do 172 different things within your lifespan, people are going to think you are holier than thou. No, I'm freer than thou. And then on top of that, the passage where Jesus said, "Be ye perfect, for your Father in heaven is perfect." You can. So that place in the prayer, help me get to the place where the accuser doesn't have any open accusations against me. When he doesn't have any open accusations against you, it's because you have gotten to that place where there's nothing of the devil in you. Now, when you speak, you carry that type of authority as the disciples did in the day of Jesus, that when they lay their hands on the sick, boom, things happen. Because you don't have all those other gods speaking about all the other agreements that your family was keeping. That's how this hits different. So there you could go through the book. You'd get through that place of the discipleship, spiritual application, and spiritual authority in 3 months. Or you do the module 2.0 and you do it in 1 month.
That's the rumor.
And then you're and, and then, listen here, Santa Maria. Go find the other Mayflower and the other go find the pilgrims and then come back and tell me. But when there is this approach, and yes, I will write it out. Good call on the documentation. I will write it out. When I hear you have done module 1 all the way through 172 topics, when I hear you have done the whole, then by that time I will have some way to contact you, either here, Telegram, or email, and you will get that full book with the amazing book cover. And Miss Dale
Dale.
assisted. Lola, Dale, you're going to have to tell us whether or not we can call you Dale.
Órale, dale.
As long as we ain't calling her the Dalai Lama.
No, it's like what is that guy's? I can't think of his name right now. He always says dale. He's a Latino.
Okay. Oh, okay. That connects the dots as to why it's not connecting for me. So That's what I was trying to bring across. If you find videos disappearing on YouTube, it's because I said I was going to do it. I ain't going to say I'm going to do it and then not do it. Also, I don't want to have this very specific content on YouTube for free if I'm trying to sell it. That look kind of weird. So once module done is complete, and it kind of was a little fun because I had a men's breakfast this morning, and they love this hat, by the way. They love that I can scalp myself. Um, um, when I got module 1 done and all the recording parts, there's going to be about 10 days worth, or excuse me, 9 days worth of recording. When you've gone through those 9 days, and I hear the audio of you going through those 9 days, that's when you get the book. And at that point, I'm not really going to be hounding after you to go give me the other days of module 2 and 3, because you've proven yourself on the first 10 days. Now, the other thing is, when you are doing module 2.0 with someone else, you are setting the standard by saying, okay, for the next month, we're coming together and I'm going to listen to you do the prayers for a month. Now, whether they are doing the month by doing the 5 a day, at that point it's like 20 minutes a day. If you want to do it a month, 5 a day, okay, let me hear you do it. Well, why do you want to be on my business? Listen, God's earth, God's design. I'm not trying to be in your business. You're coming into mine. You're coming into my God's. You're coming into God's design, and He demands order. I'm not getting into your orders. We're getting into God's orders. And if so, this crazy guy on the internet has told me how to do it, so you gotta do it. No, I'm just kidding. When you show a standard and you show what God begins to do some amazing things in your life. Your life is going to be the testimony. People are going to ask you, how did you do it? Book. Standard. Let's spend some time together. Let's sup together. You do that. You replicate. You build a force that the enemy doesn't like, because now you have unity and he don't. So there we go. Any questions whatsoever? Other than what Annette has already raised like a giant red flag. No, I'm just kidding.
So to begin it, just so I can confirm, um, some of those modules already recorded, so we can start it already
Yes.
with the what is it, Vimru,
Vokaru.
Vokaru. Yeah, you see, you're gonna have to write it down, Instructions for dummies. Here you go, because I can't remember those.
You is not a dummy. Wait. Let me ask the peanut gallery. Hey, peanut gallery, is Annette a dummy? Why not?
If she's made an image of God.
You hear that? See? God don't make dummies.
That's true.
So, um,
He don't make dummies.
I still have you turned up. Everybody can hear you.
I remember the guy that says,
What was that?
He don't make dummies.
I really microphone. I can turn it up and everybody can hear my wife. What was that, Annette?
Pitbull. He's the one that says, Dale.
Oh, I don't know. I've never heard of him. So I'll write out all the instructions. Did you have any other question. Anybody else have any questions?
Bueller.
Don't let
Bueller.
Annette do all the questioning. We are not on Bueller's Day Off. Come on.
Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone?
Lord help her. Lord help her.
That's why you're here.
All right. So tomorrow we are going to do 2 days since I missed today. Now, it was not a day where I'm just slacking because I was telling a friend from church, his name is Brandon. He is like getting into that place of trying to figure out, all right, how does this work? So here's where it gets unique. I was letting him listen to Rick, who's kind of got a head start on y'all. He's doing this, and he listened to the prayer and he listened to the specifics of the forgiveness. And when he was hearing all the various ways in which you are forgiving other people for what they taught you, for what you copied, when it's you're taking you're taking responsibility for what you copied, and you're also forgiving the various people. When he heard the depth and the that word, the specifics of forgiving people in all these various levels. He's like, wow, how did you know to say it like that? How did you know to do it all of that like that? Well, God gave it to me.
That's right.
So
All right. Cool. See
there's
you
something
tomorrow.
weird going on my pooter because for the longest time Annette was just stuck on my screen like,
I know. So were you. I heard your voice and you weren't moving. Now you're stuck.
no, that's on
Oh.
purpose. I pulled him in. And then JP left.
He always does that. He pops in right out. Popping in, popping out.
He had his name stuck as JPS Big Demon Slayer. Sarah says, I'm trying to find my chat window. She says about the meteor strike that Mike has talked about it. Mike from not Council of Time. Mike from around the world has said the same thing, that the meteorite strike is coming in on the same area of the path the solar eclipse laid across the United States. And I didn't even know that. But I've had dreams. Okay. I'm leaving. I'm going to sleep. I expect most of you to go about the same direction. Thank you for being here, non-pictorial Sarah. Much appreciated. I'll have to start writing out a document, and I will post it on both YouTube, Patreon, Telegram. But I'll post out those instructions of how to do it. If you find yourself being technically challenged, I'm giving you Annette as your teacher.
Who?
Since she wants to be the clown. There he is.
I like Google better. This is whack.
You like Google better? Why
I know
do you
this one
like
was hard
Google
to figure
better?
I just
out.
do.
Google,
No, it's not.
you can understand it a lot better. It's a lot more straightforward, and once you've been
Plus, you
using
can
it more
type into
often, then
questions.
it
You don't have to talk.
seems easier.
JP, I know you're sitting in your car, but when you, depending on how you hold it, it looks like a pair of raccoon eyes staring back at me.
Yeah,
Right.
I like Google better. You type in messages not to talk.
All right, there's something else I was going to say. Trying to remember it. Oh, if y'all want to go from where you are right now and you're trying to figure out what's the next level and what God has for you, read Psalm 91 and take communion in the mornings and then do the same thing at night. The way in which the direction of your life will suddenly clear up like very quickly. Various things happening with Tanisha and sudden level of clarity of direction like she has never experienced before. And it's about Psalm 91 much more than it is who is doing what. So what's that a wall, Sarah?
Yes, my daughter thought it'd be funny to take it off of no camera. And I'm like, girl, no, we just gave you a bath. You cannot be seen by any camera.
Oh, your little gecko.
Yeah, little cackles is fun. Very cute. All right, yo.
I got
I'm
one.
turning off my camera and microphone. Yo.
Check it out. Psalms 91. During the COVID, I was saying it every day. But I came across the soldiers were overseas during one of the wars or whatever. And they were praying Psalms, saying, repeating Psalm 91 all the time. And they were the only ones left living in a unit.
Powerful.
Yeah, that's how powerful that
So,
is.
all right, Joe. Good night.
Buenas noches.
And we'll do it again
All
tomorrow
right.
morning.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Buenas noches.
Mom.